Can we turn this off and then come up? Slide the show.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome to the South High School Hall of Fame celebration. My name is Jody Peshek, and I am the current principal at Omaha South High. So now I would like everybody to please rise for the presentation of the colors by the South High JROTC. And please continue standing until the colors have been posted. Thank you.
Right shoulder, arms, forward, march. Color guard, halt. Left base. Present, arms.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right shoulder, arms. Left, right, base. Forward, march. Color guard, halt. Post. Colors. Reset. Arms. Right shoulder, arms. Forward. March.
Thank you. Everyone may be seated. Now at this time, if I can let Ms. Judy Storm come up to the podium for the invocation. Please join me in tonight's blessing. Heavenly Father, we ask that you grace us with your presence. Grant us your blessing as we come together to share this evening's food, drink, and fellowship. We are thankful as we gather at this ceremony of great celebration. We come together tonight to honor the accomplishments of our prestigious alumni. We ask that you continue to guide the paths of those who represent the spirit of being a South High Packer. We ask that you keep watch and protect all as we continue to navigate our paths of service and demonstrate good works to influence others. Please be with those who have traveled to be with us tonight. At night's end, may all leave safely with everlasting memories and continued pride in your achievements. We ask that you be with those who are with us from afar and those who are with us in spirit. May you guide us as we all continue our lives with a positive light and vision for the future. It is in your name we give thanks for this opportunity, and together in your name we say, amen. Thank you, Judy. That was beautiful. So before we begin eating, many of our past Hall of Fame inductees are in attendance. So at this time, I would like the past Hall of Fame inductees to stand when I say your name and remain standing. Judy Teaser, Rudy Teaser, John Kreneski, Vic Reha, Candy Rezak, Dean Rezak, Gary Renat, Julie Dean, Judy Storm, Jen Crocker, and Ronnie Huerta. Excellent. Thank you. You all be seated. So would all alumni board members with us today please stand when I say your name and remain standing. Carol Sutcliffe, Judy Storm, Dean Rezak, Karen Braun, John Kreneski, Vic Reha, Judy Teaser, and Rudy Teaser, Candy Rezak, Evelyn Winther, Jen Crocker, Mary Stanek, Kelly Mulligan, and Tony Huerta. Give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. I believe we also have two former board members with us today. If you could both stand when I call your name, Julie Dean and Carol Cleaver. Thank you for your service as well. I know it takes a lot of work, and South High Alumni does a lot of amazing things to support the students and our school. Next, we'd like to recognize the members of the Hall of Fame Event Committee. So again, please stand with you for recognize Carol Sapp, Judy Storm, Karen Brunt, and Jen Crocker for putting on this amazing event. Thank you. This event is something that I know many of us look forward to. I know I do. And we're thankful for their hard work. So finally, thank you to the Cascio staff for serving us and welcoming us to your facility. And now, they are bringing out your dinner, and please enjoy your meal. We'll have the rest of the ceremony after you've eaten.
They'll be like, oh my god. No, that's not different. They're gonna
More here, you got me. Hot sauce on now for me.
Yo, slice some vanilla cake. Slice some cake with some hot dog, throw some
Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with the program. If you want to go ahead and have a seat. I hope everyone enjoyed their meal as much as I did. We can always count on Caccio's for a great steak and meal. Good evening. My name is Julie Johnson, and I have served as an assistant principal at South High for 20 years. I'd like to welcome you all this evening to celebrate our honorees' accomplishments and love for South High School. I would first like to recognize our JROTC cadets with us this evening. If you could please stand, and Sergeant Sorensen and Major York, if you could please stand too. I went back there and I said, Sergeant and Major, just tell me real quick, what states have you been in for all of your different competitions that you've had? Iowa, Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas, Dallas, South Dakota, just to name a few. It's just so amazing, all the talents that these students have and the dedication that Major York and Sergeant Sorensen have tirelessly 24/7 with these students, and you can just see how much they enjoy it. We celebrated with them last Tuesday night and all their awards that they received, and we couldn't be prouder of them and their leadership and what it means to South High, and we are just so thankful for them. The program on your tables provides information on each of our outstanding candidates. They were selected because they have distinguished themselves by their career accomplishments and dedication to helping others. We are proud to say that each one of them is an outstanding Packer. And we would like to introduce and invite you to briefly address our guests at the podium. We're going to read your introduction and invite each of you to address our guests at the microphone. So I'm going to read your name, the honorees' names, read the biography, and then I will invite you up. All right, our first honoree is Carol Stackley. Carol graduated from South in 1976. While at South, she was a member of the Pom-Porettes Pom-Pom Squad for 3 years. She was a member of second choir and first choir, participating in 2 of the school's musicals. Her mother's advised her to take college prep courses, but also take business classes so she would have skills to fall back on. Carol has always loved literature and English. Her 2 favorite classes were with Mr. James Fineman's English class and her journalism class with Mr. Mike Rice. In these classes, she learned how to think outside the lines, write creatively, and enjoy classic books. Her fondest memory of South was the pride of being a South student, and the mashed potatoes and ice cream served at lunch. We don't get ice cream. We do get Doritos, though. Carol continued her education sporadically, attending MCC, UNO, and the College of St. Mary for a paralegal degree. She worked with law enforcement for 39 years, 14 years at the Omaha Police Department, 25 years with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office at the DCSO. Carol was Sheriff Dunning's administrative coordinator. In that role, along with her office duties, she coordinated and hosted the annual Children's Christmas Party, the annual award ceremony dinner. Carol retired from the DCSO in 2021. Upon retirement, she became a full-time president for the South High Alumni Association. Carol became involved with the South High Alumni Association in 2012. Once a member, she volunteered to chair the annual golf tournament and has overseen the event for the past 12 years. During that time, she has seen the event participation go from 18 teams to over 40 teams. In 2014, Carol was elected as the vice president of the association. In that capacity, she shared in the management of the board and their events. She continued to be involved in all the fundraising events helping monetarily and physically wherever and whenever possible. She was one of the MCs and organizers for the dedication of Marlin Briscoe Way. In 2016, Carol was elected as president of the association. She holds that title to this day. Under her direction, the association has evolved into the 21st century. She supported the need for the association to connect with alumni on social media and to lower costs of mailing biannual tutors. She was fully behind offering alumni the option to receive the tutor via email. During her tenure, her mantra has always been, work smarter, not harder. In that endeavor, the association has created new avenues for raising funds through the Packer 500 Club and annual Packer Gives campaign. Although the much-loved spaghetti feed is no longer being held, Carol and the board have tried other events, including a car show, casino night, and just last year, a Halloween party, all of which she was the event chair. Carol was instrumental in the Bowl Project, which honors Carol and Dave Van Meter at South's front entrance. She also wholeheartedly supported digitizing South's yearbooks, which now allows online access to yearbooks dating back to 1906. Carol's biggest honor is providing yearly scholarships. 30-plus students each year are awarded scholarships that are earned through yearly fundraising events, as well as funded by our most generous donors. This is always a highlight of the year. Providing financial support to South staff and teachers for special projects and by hosting an annual pancake breakfast, Valentine's Day popcorn party, and a coffee smoothie catered event for Teacher Appreciation Week also brings her joy. Carol hopes that through her efforts, the South High Alumni Association will continue to be known as one of the best alumni associations in the area. Carol, please come to the microphone to say a few words.
I think all I have to say is thanks, have a good night. Okay, well, hello, everyone. I want to thank you, Storm, for nominating me for this award. I'm truly honored and humbled at the nomination. I also want to thank my family, friends, as well as the other alumni board members for their support. They have been and are still my backbone while I steer the Alumni Association. I have told them repeatedly that I could not do my job without their support, knowledge, and hard work. Audrey Hepburn once said, as you grow older, you will discover you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. I wanted to give back to my South Omaha community and help my former school, so when the opportunity arose, I jumped at the chance to do so. These past 12 years have flown. I tell everyone that I wouldn't be doing what I do unless I truly love the work. Now, I remember attending my first board meeting 12 years ago. I sat in the back of the meeting room at the table with Judy Storm and Carol Cleaver. The first part of the meeting was the school report. Up stood then athletic director Ryan Huerta. She talked about what the sport teams and athletes were doing, including their sports performances, what the academic expectations were, and where they were heading. Then Principal Kara Briggs stood up and started talking about the current senior class, scholarship applications, and how they were working towards getting all the seniors qualified and prepared to walk at graduation. I was so impressed by these two women. They were both eloquent and passionate about students under their care. Now, normally, they inspired my spontaneous agreement to chair that year's alumni golf tournament. Now, I had enough knowledge about how a tournament was handled, but I wasn't sure about how to commence. So I stopped at the alumni office the following week to find out what my budget was. After he stopped chuckling, our CEO, Dick Lizzie, said, "We are a nonprofit, there's no budget, Carol. You just go out and pound the pavement, knock on doors, and get your sponsors and raffle prizes." So my first tournament was a trial by fire. We had 18 teams signed up that first year, and I guess I've done an okay job, because each year we've had more teams register. Last year we had 39 teams participate, and we are well on our way to a great turnout this year, with 21 teams already registered to play. So the tournament's at the end of July, so if you want to get in on it, get your application in. So, let's see. I became an alumni board member in 2012. I was elected to vice president position in 2014 and then elected as president in 2016. Sounds like I fast tracked to the top. I hope the members voting saw my capabilities and voted for me because of them. However, I think I got elected by default. There really wasn't anyone else who wanted positions. But I think the successes we've accomplished in these past 12 years do not solely rest on my shoulders, but are successful by the continued input and collective service of all the board members. Ivan Scher, one of the true American pioneers of the field of volunteering, said, "Volunteering is doing more than you have to because you want to in a cause you consider good." Well, I believe the Alumni Association's goals are just a good cause but a great cause. We have been able to assist hundreds of students pursue their dreams to higher education through our scholarship program. We've also provided funding for the teacher special project requests, which ensure that hundreds of students are able to experience travel for regional and national competitions, participate in sports and the arts, all of which might not be feasible for them without our support. Denzel Washington said that at the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. The Alumni Association strives to continue to lift up the students and the staff itself. Another important aspect and job of the Alumni Association is keeping our alumni members current with what's going on at the school, updates on their former classmates, and fostering continued communication through our biannual tutor. Our fundraisers and events such as the Hall of Fame and Packer Sports Grades Banquets are a fantastic way of acknowledging former students and their achievements. Our events like bowling, golf, the Halloween party support our scholarship program, but also give our alumni a chance to get together and enjoy their former classmates while having a great experience. To say that the past 12 years have been a blur is true, but within those years, I have been blessed with so many memories of our accomplishments. I can only hope that my stewardship of the association continues our most important task of helping and supporting our goals. I want to thank two more incredible women who I've met over the last few years, Principal Jody Pesek and Vice Principal Julie Johnson, for their continued support and assistance with our events. I think our communication is pretty good. I'll leave you with a quote from one of my very favorite authors. "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not." That, ladies and gentlemen, was my author, Dr. Seuss. Now I happily step away from the podium so that all of our other inductees can shine. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Carol. Our next honoree is Linda Machete Henningsen. Miss Judy Teaser will now come forward to speak about Linda.
Good evening, everybody. It is my distinct honor and privilege to bestow this honor upon somebody who's very, very special to me. She is my little sister. I call her that because we're actually cousins, and I don't want to take anything away from her blood sister, but Linda and I are blood sisters too. Do you want to hear this story? I don't know. Well, I'm an only child, and I waited and waited and waited for this little girl to be born. And when I saw the car that was going to the hospital that day, and in those days you couldn't let children in the hospital to see new babies, so I had to wait until they brought her home. So they brought her home, and after about a week, I asked her mother if I could help take care of her, and she agreed that I could. Well, came time to change her diaper. And she said, "Now you know how to do this, right? You put your hand in between the pin, remember the pin? Yeah, the pin through the cloth diaper." And I said, "Oh yeah, I know how to do this." So I put my hand in between and I put the pin through and I clasped it. I went to the other side and I tried the same thing. All of a sudden, this baby let out a blood-curdling screaming, and I picked her up and I said, "Hey, Perry, I don't know what's wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Honestly, I really didn't." She put her hand behind the one pin and it was fastened correctly. Behind the other pin, I had gone through her skin. And I clasped the pin. So she and I are truly blood sisters. Getting back to the business at hand. Linda graduated from South High in 1971. I can always remember this because we graduated 10 years apart. We do everything 10 years apart here, I think. So anyway, she says that she's always been a proud South High graduate. And I know that firsthand because whenever I would be involved in a South High project, she would ask me about it. Well, what do you do? How do you do it? And so forth. She's always been very involved with the South High School. The teachers that influenced her most, guess, just take a guess. Who would be number one? 1960s. Who would be number one? Dr. Kunzel. That's right. Someone said it back there. Doc Kunzel. I swear, every time somebody gets up here from that realm, Doc Kunzel has played an important role in their lives. If only he were alive today to know that. And she said he made her believe that she was capable of doing more. Linda, does that mean you weren't doing what you should have in that class? Sometimes. All right. Well, we were all there. We knew that. And the second one was Mr. Roland Heinrichs, who by the example showed her how to be the best she could possibly be. And he did a very, very good job because she has shown in so many different areas of her life. Linda has also been involved in her senior class. I can't tell you how many reunions she's worked on, and she was also a senior class officer, so she took it to heart. Linda went to the MCC for her dental technology class and completed Presidium Academy courses in abuse prevention. This is a very important area, I think, for Linda. She pays very close attention to abuse prevention. Linda served as editor, associate publisher, and then publisher of the Daily Record. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the Record, it is a legal newspaper that has filings from the district court every single day. And her husband, her former husband, who passed away 11 years ago, helped her, introduced her, I believe, as Linda told me, to a variety of different associations, clubs, various groups. She belongs to so many associations, it's hard for me to talk about them all. They're all written in your program. I'm going to let you know how to read. You can go back and look at all of those different clubs and associations that she belongs to, but she's very accomplished in those fields. Her contributions to the community, I think, are outstanding. She's a very prominent member of the Kiwanis Club, and she's been there since the 2000s, becoming governor of the organization for Nebraska, Iowa in 2022-23. I had to ask her, what do you mean governor? Are you going to run for political office, or what is this about? No, it just means I'm in charge of the whole group. I don't know how many members are in this group from Nebraska, Iowa, but there are a lot. And she put on the convention this past year, and she was on that stage all by herself, conducting the entire production. So congratulations to her. Prior to becoming governor, she's not done yet, she served as the Nebraska, Iowa Kids Administrator. I'm not sure what she did there, but you'll have to ask her. And then Key Club Advisor, Key Leader Member, and then she's part of the organization. There's 25 different Kiwanis Plus that takes care of various child-serving nonprofit organizations. So it's Kiwanis Who Care. And she is a member of this group, and she makes quarterly to this group. So she not only provides and is interested in children of the elementary age, but high school and even college, because she is a member of the Action Club, which is adults with disabilities. So she follows the entire realm of life. Well, that's about all I have, except to tell you that she has my goddaughter, Carrie Lynn. Carrie Lynn is her daughter, and she has two beautiful boys that I haven't seen for a while. One is taller than me, I can't believe it. AJ and Adrian, and they live in Colorado, so it's hard for me to see them on a regular basis. And Linda also has a son, Brian, who is at this moment in Germany. So he sends his love, and he wishes he could be here, but unfortunately he had this trip planned, and they're off having a good time. So with that, Linda, I'm going to turn it over to you. I promise you I can do it.
She said, "Did you embarrass me?" I said, "Yes." And I still have that scar. So you would think that we had talked to each other, and because my speech is very similar. So bear with me, I'll try not to repeat too much of it. But first of all, I'd like to thank the South High Alumni Association for this honor. And I'd also like to thank those of you, many of you I know are in this room, who had the foresight to establish this association more than 30 years ago, probably. And the work you've done for those 30 plus years. For our South High, its teachers, its students, and its alumni is nothing short of amazing. So thank you so very much. And congratulations to my fellow inductees. It's an honor to be in your company. I'd also like to acknowledge, once again, the ROTC students and cadets. Last summer at the Embassy Suites, they did the presentation of colors for the Nebraska-Iowa Kiwanis Convention. And I was sitting there watching them before the event started. They were rehearsing, and it hit me all of a sudden how proud I was of these students I didn't even know. The pride they took in what they were doing, and the way they were working together, the leadership, it just made me feel so very, very proud of them. And I thought to myself, you know, the world's going to be in a better place with students like these as you guys grow up and become young adults and move forward in your careers. My very, very best wishes to all of you. You know, when I look back on my high school years, besides thoroughly enjoying it and having a lot of fun, the thing that stands out to me the most were the teachers. Whether you had them in class or not, I felt that they cared. That it was more than just a subject that they were teaching. Between classes, during past time in the halls, you would see most of them standing by their classroom doors. I understand they still do that today. Talking to kids, laughing with them, and yes, sometimes, and I can attest to this, lecturing them a little bit and giving them some suggestions. You knew they were there for you. It is such an honorable profession, and we owe them so very much. I was fortunate to grow up with a loving father and mother who were always there for me. And my siblings, my brother Joe, Steve, Tim, Pat, and my sister Mary, who at some point in my life, whenever I needed them, always were there for me. I appreciate it. I was also very fortunate to have two wonderful children, Brian and Carrie, and my two grandsons, AJ and Adrian, who I know, and in fact already have, left their own very special footprint. In my professional career, I owe a debt of gratitude to my late husband, Ron Henningson, who always encouraged me to get involved and to grow as a businesswoman. But there are two people who influence me the most, more than others. One of them, as you can imagine, is my cousin Judy Teaser, who I always looked to as a mentor and a sister, and loved her as a sister. And to my maternal grandmother, who showed me by her actions the importance of giving back, especially to children. The vehicle I chose for giving back was the Kiwanis organization, as you've heard, mainly because of the youth programs that start from grade school through middle school, high school, and college, as well as their programs for adults with disabilities. For me, there is nothing more satisfying than working with our youth. I learn so much from them every single time I'm with them. And I have some Kiwanis friends here who have guided me along the way. Andy, Jenny, Ron, and Tracy, thank you for your support. The South High class of 1971 is a pretty active group. That is due to two fellow classmates who keep us on track not only every 5 years, but every other month when we meet together casually. And despite all the work that involves, these two individuals are so dependable, loyal, kind, reliable, and they are two of my dearest friends, Howard Kojal and Ken Stoisich, who are also here. Howard keeps the calendar and meetings moving, and Ken provides the food. Usually, as you can well imagine, sausage, and his mom, Rita's famous potato salad. We eat very, very well. The class of 1971 owes you both a great debt of gratitude. I'm so appreciative of this award. It's about the recognition of the work that one does for me, and especially not really about me, and for the people who have influenced and encouraged you and me along the way. As you can tell, I've had some pretty remarkable people in my life. It's also about the people who support you by just letting you be yourself. So I'd like to thank my partner at this time, Richard Hansen, who every time I go to one meeting or here or there, or leave town to go to Iowa or Colorado or wherever, tells me by the garage door as I'm pulling out, be careful and have a good time. That means a lot to me. I am a very proud South Omaha High School graduate. And I'm so very appreciative of this honor. Thank you all very, very much. Oh, the other gentleman too.
Our next honoree is Dan Dolzall. Dan graduated from South in 1971. He lived outside of the South High School district area, but opted to attend South because of the intensive drafting program that was offered. Through his years at South, he was able to hone his skills and increased his interest in drafting. South teachers who impacted his high school years included Mr. Meisinger, who taught him trigonometry and ultimately critical thinking paths to problem solving. Mr. Smith, with his quiet, humorous demeanor and who opened his eyes to the beauty of literature and English. Dr. Kugel, who showed him the wonder of overcoming a major disability to excel in all aspects of life with dignity and the respect of peers and students. And finally, Sally Fellows, who simply expected the very best effort every day. With her Far East history class, he had his first exposure to public speaking. With Dan's interest and his skill in drafting, he attended UNO and received his associate degree in drafting and design in 1973. In 97, he decided to self-teach the few courses he was lacking, subsequently testing and passing his civil engineering licensure. Today, he is a 25-year licensed civil engineer. He is an active partner at Earhart Griffin & Associates, which is a land surveying and civil engineering firm located in Omaha. As the fourth firm member hired in 1989, he helped play a pivotal role in shaping and molding the company into the 20-employee workforce it is today. A sampling of Dan's relevant work include civil engineering for over $300 million in campus improvement projects at Creighton University, managed a $10 million sewer separation project in Omaha, notable because Dan introduced and designed the first micro-tunneling project, a trenchless operation in Omaha, which drastically reduced the construction impacts to the residents and businesses. Dan was the design engineer for the demolition of the former UPRR yards in preparation for the CHI Convention Arena, project engineer for the design and construction of the UPRR headquarters at 14th and Douglas, project engineer for the design and construction of the Keystone Trail. Since 1993, Dan has master planned over 125 miles of pedestrian trails. Design engineer for the demolition and redevelopment of the South Omaha Stockyards into a business park. Design engineer for the design of the South 24th Street landscape from South L to Q Streets in 2007. Civil engineer on the planning team for the Collins Stadium master plan, leading to the reconstruction of the whole into its current status as one of the finest facilities in Omaha Public Schools. Currently, Dan is the project manager for the design underway for the major renovation and building addition for the nonprofit Symbol Foundation at 30th and Q Streets. Dan's community contributions include a longtime volunteer for the Great Plains chapter of the Paralyzed Veterans of America. He celebrated his 50th birthday by starting a yearly golf benefit to raise funds to develop a sports and fitness program. The year 2023 marked the 21st year of the benefit, which has raised to date nearly $1 million and has created a full fitness center complete with a personal trainer and a host of program opportunities for the disabled community. Dan also sits on the board of directors for Victory Riding Academy, which offers therapeutic horseback riding to members of the community suffering physical and mental impairments. He has been a 7-year mentor for the senior design class for senior engineering students at UNO, and he is also a longtime youth basketball coach for several organizations. Dan's belief is that we are only as strong as the community around us. Dan has 5 daughters, Jennifer, Becky, Megan, Anna, and Kara. His bonus family are Jamie and Keith. He has 6 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. Dan says that South High was truly a unique experience in many ways. He believes that every story starts with a firm foundation from which to build. His foundation outside of his family started at South High. Dan, please come to the microphone to say a few words.
I need to pay my publicist a little more money. So, in preparing for the night, Karen Brown told me 5 minutes, and my daughters say no dad jokes. So I'm sorry, Karen. I'll apologize in advance. The kids, we'll wait and see how it goes. So, I'd like to thank everyone for that warm reception. Thank you to the association for this great honor. This is something that I'll cherish for the remainder of my days, which I hope are long and many still. Herb Brooks was an Olympic coach for the 1980 men's hockey team. And if you recall that team, they stunned the world by upsetting the Russians and then going on to win the gold medal. In that pregame speech before the Russian match, Herb was quoted as saying that great achievements come about from great opportunities. Now, I'll let others weigh in on my achievements, but tonight I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a life blessed with great opportunities. It began with my mother and father, the late George and Dorothy Dolezal. By every metric we had, financially we were very poor, but we were very rich in memories of love and kindness. It was this foundation that they built on those bases that laid the foundation of my life, and I've stood on it ever since. No matter how many twists and turns I gave it, no matter how many times I tried to crack it, it's held up. That was probably my first great opportunity. We lived our life with the expectation, I'll call it the gift of great expectations. Coach Rural of Nebraska had stated that the other day. I liked it. The gift of great expectations. You don't have to be the best, but you can damn well better try your best every day. To my family that's here tonight, I'd like you, and those that are watching on video that couldn't make it, I'd like to tell all of you that every day I wake up, you inspire me, you motivate me to be a better man. I'm so proud of all of you for all that you've done, and I look forward to seeing what else you will do in the future. Thank you for the opportunity to give me a personal life that's abundant in love, in laughter, and kindness. I've got many friends here tonight. I think they all showed up just to see if this was a big joke. I would like that you have stood by me through all these years. We've experienced loves and deaths, births of children, divorces, wins, losses, successes. When we were down, we picked each other up. I can't imagine spending my life with a better group of people. You've shaped me and formed me. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to take a nugget of each one of your personalities that I've loved and admired over these years, and to weave it into the fabric of my life and of my personality. 48 years ago, I started, I'm sorry. I had COVID a few weeks ago. It'll be over tomorrow, don't worry about it. But since then, I just had 5 hours. Thank you. Step away from that so you'll not go. Where was it we talked about? 48 years ago, I joined Kirk and Michael. And there were 2 men at Kirk and Michael that saw something in a 22-year-old kid that they liked, John Adler and John Rodley. They were my mentors. They encouraged me, they led me, they scolded me when they needed to, not that that happened hardly at all. And they took this idea I had of a career and they turned it into a 50-year love affair with engineering. Thank you, John. John and John, I guess. Thank you for the opportunity to find a career that I love so much, that balanced so perfectly with the love I have in my personal family life. And I have had such a full and rewarding life with those two paired together. To my second family, those people at Earhart Griffin Associates, a few are here tonight. Thank you for your teamwork, your support, your ideas, your patience. Thank you for the opportunity to make every day that I go to work seem like Christmas morning and I'm about to open a really cool gift. Thank you. And last, let's talk about South High School. In 1968, this tall, skinny, and I haven't used that word in a long time, geeky teenager entered South High. And 3 years later, they produced this tall, slender young man, but I had a toolbox of knowledge, that a refined skill set that I would continue to build on, and the idea of a career that I was going to explore. I'd like to thank them for giving me that opportunity to pursue a dream that was just formulating, but to give me the institutional knowledge of what to do and how to go forward with it. Made me realize a little bit of myself. And that has grown every year since then, but it's all come back to that root. I'd like to take a moment, I know I'm running along, but I apologized earlier, so. To the educators in this audience, past and present, I'd like to bow before you and tell you that you are my heroes. I have teachers in my family. It's an understated, underpaid profession at every level, but never underappreciated. I have great faith in the future of this nation and great faith in the future of this world for the product that you continue to put out daily and yearly. Thank you for giving those young men and women the opportunity that you gave me 50 years ago. So I'm going to wrap this up before I get pulled off the stage. But I'd like to say this. Tonight when the festivities are over, I go to bed. So in the morning, I'm going to wake up like I always do. I'll look forward to a day filled with opportunities for knowledge, for kindness, for humor, for respect, and for ways to make a difference. But I'll do it with one big exception, and that's that I get to be a part of this esteemed Hall of Fame. And that is the greatest, most dear honor to me that I can imagine. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time and attention.
Our next honoree is Dennis Moran. After graduating South High in 1963, Dennis joined the Army National Guard 867th Engineering Company as a heavy equipment operator and served for 6 years. Dennis answered his next call to public service on September 3rd, 1968, when he joined the Omaha Police Department. During his time as an officer, Moran was an accident investigator, undercover narcotics officer, and personal security to Mayor Bernie Simon. He particularly took pride in helping the families impacted by traffic accidents, remembering letters from them showing gratitude for both his deep compassion and professionalism in the face of a serious injury or loss of life. The most unforgettable event of his policing career occurred on August 17, 1970, while responding to a distress call at a vacant house on Ohio Street. Dennis was one of 7 officers injured in the devastating explosion which tragically took the life of his partner, Officer Larry Menard Sr. Despite his injuries, Dennis continued to serve and protect the Omaha community before his retirement, where he celebrated 30 years with the Omaha Police Department. Community service was not Dennis's only passion. He quickly found a love for real estate, residential and commercial, after purchasing his first home from his father, fixing it up and selling it 8 months later for a nice profit. In 1980, he set his sights on a new venture when he became the owner of the Dundee Theater. He credits the general business course he took from Miss Wagner at South High with providing the skills needed to set up the bookkeeping for his small business. As a result, Omaha acquired the only art house style theater in the state at the time, playing foreign and independent films previously unavailable to the community. With the inclusion of other theaters, Omni 4 Theaters in Council Bluffs and the Westwood Cinema 8, Dennis created spaces for filmmakers to premiere their work and for Bollywood to find an audience an ocean away from home. Many young people remember the magic of midnight movies, and families can enjoy discounted tickets and affordable concessions. Moran's thought to create spaces where everyone could enjoy a night at the movies. And if that wasn't enough to keep Dennis busy, he also owned and operated a video rental business named Dundee Main Street Movies with his wife Janet Moran, South High 1976, along with opening Fenwick's Diner in 1990, a restaurant for those looking for good food, real homemade ice cream, and an authentic 50s diner experience. Dennis now lives a retired life, enjoying traveling with his wife Janet and spending quality time with his family. He and Janet will be celebrating 37 years of marriage in May 2024. They have 2 children and many people who lovingly call them mom and dad, their daughter Alexandra and son Logan. Logan followed in his father's footsteps, joining the Omaha Police Department in 2017, and his daughter continues to serve the Omaha community through nonprofit work and endometriosis advocacy. Please come to the microphone, Dennis, to say a few words.
Make it short. Good evening. To begin, I was generally both surprised and humbled by the Hall of Fame nomination. I would like to sincerely thank the committee for this wonderful recognition. To be included with this great group of inductees and Hall of Fame members, I feel truly honored. After serving in the National Guard for several years and joining the Omaha Police Department, to continue serving our community. I was taking night classes at Omaha University and working midnight day. Who knew that an elective class, principles and practices of real estate, and its free-spirited educator would change the path of my life. Dr. Soroto walked in smoking a big stogie cigar, wearing a Hawaiian shirt, khaki shorts, and sandals. And had more diamond rings and gold than Jay-Z. As he said, real estate, big bucks. I'm filthy rich. I teach because I enjoy it. He then went on to say, you know the difference between an elderly gentleman and an old man? Money. Then clicking another ass, he said it was a real estate, big bucks with the brand. Next thing I know, I'm selling my 1964 Daytona blue Corvette coupe to put money down on a house. After fixing it up and selling it for a profit, I moved on to more houses, eventually commercial properties. Nowadays, they call it flipping. It goes to show how much an individual in a single moment can change the course of your life. Without these influences, I would have never had the joy of running theaters, bringing art forms to Omaha, and designing a restaurant with real 1950s diners experience. I have been very fortunate to be able to combine all the lessons and experiences in my life and share them with others along the way. My gratitude is endless, as a list of people I would like to thank, including family, friends, classmates, who each played an important in who I am today. A special thank you for fellow inductee Carol Safley for introducing to my wife, Jen. 20 years. Again, a heartfelt thank you for this honor, and thank you for listening.
Our next honoree is Edward Babe Gomez. He is being honored posthumously today. Babe was the third child of 14, born to Modesto and Matiana Gomez. Babe attended South High as it was 1/4 shy of graduating with this class in 1950. Although Babe did not officially graduate from South, he is without a doubt one of our most decorated students. During his high school years, he played football and competed in track. Babe was sent to a reform school in Kearney, Nebraska after getting into some trouble. Once there, he became involved with boxing and also decided he wanted to join the Marines. He signed his enlistment papers and a 3-year contract a day after his 17th birthday. Being that he was only 17, his parents also had to sign. Standing only 5'2.5" and weighing in at 121 pounds, he was small in stature but a scrapper, never backing down from a challenge. He was a Golden Gloves featherweight fighter for the Marine Reserves. He traveled to Chicago in 1950 to compete. He was called up to active duty in October 1950, 4 months after the Korean War broke out. He sailed to Korea on the Aiken Victory with a machine gun unit assigned to Easy Company and Battalion 1st Marine Regiment as a private first class. Babe was injured on June 25th, 1951, and received his first Purple Heart. After his recovery, he was sent back into action. Before he left on his next assignment, known as the Battle of the Punch Bowl, Korea, he wrote his mother saying that he might be killed. His final day was September 14th, 1951. On that day, Babe and his troop were assigned to take Hill 749. As a machine gun supplier, he was charged with looking for a place for the machine gun to be placed to defend and protect his troop. A grenade was thrown by the enemy. He picked it up and threw it back. They were under heavy fire and couldn't get a good spot to counter all the bullets raining down on them. Again, he tried to locate a good place for his squad so they could drive forward and seize their objective. Sadly, another grenade landed, and this time, Babe grasped it, shouting warnings to those around him. The grenade exploded, killing Babe. His brave act allowed his fellow Marines to advance and take Hill 749. Babe was the first Hispanic to receive the Medal of Honor, along with a Purple Heart with a Gold Star, in lieu of a second Purple Heart. The National Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, Presidential Unit Citation awarded to the 1st Marine Division for service in Korea for the periods of April 21st to 26th, May 16th through the 30th, and September 11th through the 25th, 1951. Good Conduct Medal for service from October 19, 1950 to September 14, 1951. The Korean Presidential Unit Citation awarded to the 1st Marine Division for the period of October 26, 1950 to July 27, 1953. The United Nations Medal and a Rifle Marksmanship Badge. In his final letter home, Babe wrote, "I'm writing this on the possibility that I may die in this next assault. You will hear about it before getting this letter, and I hope you don't take it too hard. I am not sorry I died, because I died fighting for my country. And that's the number one thing in everyone's life, to keep his home and country from being won over by such things as communism. I am proud to have done the little that I have done. Be proud of me, Mom, because even though I am scared now, I know what I am doing is worth it. Tell Dad I died like the man he wanted me to be. I hope this doesn't break your heart. I love you. The kids, remind them of me once in a while, and never forget, kids. Fight only for what you believe in, because that's what I am fighting for. All my undying love, Babe." Upon his mother's insistence, Babe Gomez was brought back home to South Omaha, where his funeral mass was held at Guadalupe Church. He is buried at St. Mary's Cemetery, named in his honor at Edward Babe Gomez Elementary School, located in the neighborhood where Babe grew up, opened in 2004. Babe also has an avenue named after him in South Omaha, situated near the Metro Community College South Campus and the Livestock Exchange Building. This evening, South High School, Ms. Peshek and I, we would like to present an honorary diploma to Babe's family in his honor. Babe's niece, Kathy Gomez, and his also another niece, Crystal Gomez, are both here to accept his award and his honorary diploma. And if they could please come forward at this time.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Numbers family, we'd like to thank everybody here at Omaha South High alumni for recognizing Uncle Dave and presenting him with the recognition and this great honor of being inducted into this Hall of Fame year, where he, at one time, he graduated.
We would like to thank you guys for recognizing him. My sister-in-law's and my mission is to keep Dave's name alive so that his memory will go on. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
I also brought some friends with me today. This evening, I have Ronnie Huerta, who was already mentioned. Ronnie is here with me because our final honoree is Kara Riggs, and Kara isn't here this evening, but Ronnie and I served under Kara as her assistant principals. She served as our principal, and Shauna Frodema was with Kara at Beveridge when she was the principal at Beveridge, and now Shauna is the current director at the transition program for our special ed students who go on from the ACP program, the alternative curriculum program, when they leave as seniors, and they go and they learn life skills and job skills until they're 21. And so she is the director, and so they are up here to support me while I introduce Ms. Riggs. Our final honoree is Kara Riggs. Sorry. Kara was our principal at South for 6 years, from 2009 through 2014. She admits that those were the most rewarding years of her career. Before coming to South, she was the principal at Beveridge for 9 years. There she led the transformational from a regular middle school to a magnet program with the themes of visual and performing arts and international studies. Prior to that, she was a Benson Bunny. She taught, we're not gonna hold that against her. She taught English at Benson High for 7 years, and then took a position as an assistant principal and athletic director for 8 years. That position made her the first female athletic director in Nebraska. Kara has an undergraduate degree in English and a master's in school administration. She is also a published author. Her books are titled Hope in the Urban Schools, Love Stories, Rainbows, Lollipops, and Tough Bitches Fight Cancer. It's so nice to kind of say a bad word and be okay with it. Short stories of joy, faith, friendship, and laughter. After spending her whole life in Omaha, Kara retired to La Jolla, California in 2014. Following a beautiful 30-year career in the Omaha public school system, Kara moved to enjoy sunny Southern California. a year-long fight with breast cancer in 2013-14 school year, and its return of metastatic breast cancer in 2019 validated her many blessings and her lifelong belief in her living her life fully. Today, Kara works for the National Center of Urban School Transformation at San Diego State University as an executive coach. Her work with NSCUST allows her to coach school leaders around the country as they do the hard work of transforming their own schools into places where kids are happy and achieving at high levels. Kara is the proud mom of her daughter Shelby, her pride and joy, a 2014 South High grad and a San Diego State University grad. Kara was unable to travel to Omaha this evening due to her health, but one of our Packer alumni, Khalil Westbrook, will accept her award on her behalf and say a few words. So I would like to welcome Khalil to the podium.
So I'm actually going to start off with a quote that kind of reminds me of Miss Riggs. I'm going to call her Miss Riggs. I can't really call her by her first name. The truth is that your value is constant. It is priceless, and it never goes up or down based off results or your performance. Your value comes from who you are and what you do, and not from what you do. I'm sorry. Accepting this award on behalf of Kara Riggs is truly an incredible honor to be a part of. When I think about my time at South High and what Ms. Riggs was to me and other students that walked down those halls, the following comes to mind of who she was. A nurturer. She created a successful environment. A challenger. She pushed us outside of our comfort zones. A protector. She helped guard us against ourselves and others. Teacher, she helped us create within ourselves a love of learning and growth. Promoter, she gave us a platform to use our voice when we felt that we couldn't speak our truth, the peace movement. And lastly, a mother. She gave us all unconditional love and support at all times. I remember one of my last conversations with her before I graduated and what I wanted to do with my life. And she asked me, what am I truly passionate about? That passion was the same as yours, Ms. Riggs. Working with kids that not only look like me, but need someone who believes in them and will always be in their corner when they need it. On behalf of your final graduating class, 2014, we thank you for all you've given us whenever we needed you. You stood by us, and even on your worst days, you made it our best days. You gave us a home away from home. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna start having some of these kids run this thing. At any rate, thank you all for attending the South High School Alumni Hall of Fame induction. As always, it's an honor to serve as an MC for you this evening. The commitment, dedication, loyalty, service, and generosity of each honoree this evening is important for those in this room and for the South High community, school, and current and future Packers. Again, we thank everyone for coming. This is the end of the program for this evening. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your week.